All right, so I think we're live. So first things first. Hey guys, thank you coming. I can't even talk. I'm so tired. Thanks for coming into my YouTube channel. We're here with Nerdy Girl Comics. You guys know her very well. We're doing the first episode of my Comics and Cocktails. We're going to wait a couple of minutes just to see if anybody else shows up. Then we're going to start off right away with making a drink, which is a creamy butterscotch martini. And then we're going to talk a little bit about, books to invest in and so on and so forth. So
he never tells me what his plan is until he ambushes me. Hi, Magic Lasso.
See, I figure I had to put the comments so it shows up on the screen this time.
I like that better.
I couldn't figure out last time, because I'm still new to this specific software. But what's going on, Magic Lasso? I knew you were gonna be here for sure. And I was thinking, I don't know, is this a good time to stream? 7 o'clock.
About that also.
What's that?
I was thinking about that also.
I feel like is there?
I think it's a weird time on a Friday.
Yeah. Is there ever a good time though? I feel like, especially now that I guess more people are starting to go out. I feel like that's. I mean, I'm still staying in.
Me too.
There's
the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to the grocery store a few times, just for things that I can't get delivered to me. I've stopped at the liquor store a few times, and
all that delivered here.
Yeah, there's a few things that I got delivered, but last time I got alcohol delivered, they kind of messed up my order, and I was like,
We'll do it myself.
And then what else? And then obviously this last Wednesday, my comic book shop finally opened up. So I went there really early so that I knew that I was going to be pretty much the only one there before a lot of people got there just to be there. Because I feel like it's been so long since I've been to a shop.
Did they wear masks?
They did. So this is the thing that I've noticed about when it comes to the regulations. I feel like you have these regulations of 6 feet apart. The shops are telling you to wear masks, and just be aware of your surroundings and everything. But nobody's following that. Everybody still comes up right next to you.
It's
and I've heard a lot of on the news. I've heard a lot of people are pushing back against wearing masks.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't understand it because what's the big deal? If you have to wear a mask, you wear a mask. I don't see the big deal. I mean, it's not like they're uncomfortable, to be honest with you.
Right. It's not that serious. Put one on and don't be an a-hole.
Yeah. I mean,
it's selfish not to, especially in buildings. Like, if you don't want to wear one outside, fine. But if you're going into a building, put one on. Don't be selfish.
Yes, I mean, it's around other people. If you can do what you want when you're by yourself,
right?
But
even
when you're
where you can move a little bit and kind of control who you go around.
Yeah. But like I said, it's just and I don't know how it is in your area, but I know the shops have anything, supermarkets, anything have the plastic dividers right at the cashier, so they're have the extra layer of protection, which I think is good. No,
I think nail salons do that. I don't know if they do. I haven't stepped in a grocery store since probably the beginning of March.
Yeah.
And then there's a drive-through grocery store down here too, like an Amish grocery store. Yeah. Where you go in, they give you a paper, you fill out what you want, and then they shop it in the back of the store, load it in your trunk, you slide your credit card in, and you keep it moving.
See, that's useful. I find that useful. See, I've been doing, like I told you, the what's Instacart.
Yeah.
Right. And I've been doing some stuff, but there's certain things that I still don't trust people with, like meats. I feel like
people picking my meat. I know.
Yeah, I have to see it. Certain produce, I feel like, I mean, but
I know. I've got
it is
sour grapes.
Magic Lasso, this was the first time inside your Yeah, I know. They wore masks in most. Well, you were telling me that Magic Lasso that there was a 20-minute limit per customer too.
I like that rule.
I agree with it. I think it's a good rule. That way because it's not only about if you're limited to the amount of people you have inside the store. You don't want to have it. You can't have it full because you got to give other people an opportunity as well.
Right.
The salon experience was interesting. You tape your mask to your face and your temp is taken before they let you in. You know what? Yes, they do. I have an appointment coming up just because I can't stand my hair anymore. My salon is having UV lights. They're taking your temperature. They're limiting the amount of people that come in per day. They're not even opening until later on in the day. They're just doing a bunch of stuff, and you can keep your mask on, obviously, while you're getting everything done, which I think is good. Because if they didn't follow all those rules, I don't think I would go.
So there's a barber shop down here that I follow because I've been there before for my shave when I shave my side. And he has Instagram stories all the time. And I was watching one the other day. Nobody had a mask on. His barber shop was packed. None of the barbers had on masks. None of the customers had on masks. And they're all in each other's face. And I'm just like, what the hell goes on?
Jeez. Yeah, people just don't care. But I'm definitely excited to get my hair cut on because, like I said, I like wearing hats. But if I took off my hat right now, my hair is like empty here.
Oh my God.
Ridiculous. We're going to make, guys, whoever shows up later on. Whoever watches this video later on YouTube, fantastic. Thank you so much for coming. I actually need to get, you know what I forgot? I have all the ingredients. I got all the ingredients to make the creamy butterscotch martini. And guess what the one thing that I forgot to grab?
The syrup.
No. The main thing that you need for a drink.
The vodka? The ice?
No.
A cup?
The glass. So I'm going to grab a glass real quick. Hold on, guys.
Hey, what's up, guys? Guess I'm hijacking the channel for a second. Drop some comments so I know you're here. Say hello. Say what's up.
All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, a glass. See, Magic Lasso knew it. Magic Lasso knew it. All right, guys, so I'm gonna make it real quick for you guys. I'm actually doing the serving amount and the ingredients that I put up on Instagram is a serving for 2. And since I like to have.
I didn't know it was a martini. I made mine in this kind of glass because it didn't dawn on me that it was a martini.
I don't have a martini
some kind of weird, like White Russian or something.
You know what I did? I think I told you I did make it the other day.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of a mixture of like a White Russian, and I don't know if you ever had rumchata.
Oh, I have had. Yeah.
For me, it was like a mixture of that. But all right, so what I'm gonna do? I got my mixer here, okay, with ice, guys. I'm gonna add a half of cup of vodka, and I am using Tito's. I know that
my favorite.
Danielle likes Tito. I got a little bottle here.
I only buy gallons.
Well, I have a bigger one. I figured it'd be easier to show it here. Then we're gonna add half a cup of milk. I
went really light on the milk. I did a splash of milk.
Did you? I like the creaminess.
No.
So I'm a big White Russian fan. So
rumchata equals yumchata. Facts. Especially at the time. He said rumchata equals yumchata, and I said facts, especially at Christmas time.
I agree. I'm a big fan of just adding liquor to any holiday drink that there is. All right, so we got a butterscotch snaps here. Snaps. We're gonna add that in.
Snaps.
I always, in my videos, when I do YouTube videos, I always tell my viewers that I'm ESL, so I'm probably going to mess up some of my words.
Oh, yes. It took me a second to realize what ESL is.
You're like, what is that? And then we have 2
Oh.
tablespoons of maple syrup.
So my glass, because I don't follow recipes, is about this much vodka, about this much milk, about this much schnapps, a little ice, and then I topped it with some butter pecan bourbon cream.
See, that sounds
A
good.
little syrup, and then I sprinkled cinnamon on top.
See, I gotta do the top layer. See, I was a bartender too, so I don't know if anybody knew that. So I love making drinks.
So he's getting fancy with it over there, and I just free poured everything in my glass and then stirred it with a spoon.
I'm only doing it for YouTube. Normally I do that too. I had to get this out and dust it off.
Much more professional at this than I am, as we can see.
Well, you know, it's since it's my channel, I have to do it that way, you know. And I did bring my enormous bottle of cinnamon, so I
have a little teeny tiny cinnamon.
See, we use cinnamon a lot, so always
never use it.
What's that?
I never use it.
Really?
Yeah. What do you use it on?
On everything: pancakes, coffee, random stuff. I'm blanking out, so random stuff sounds good.
Put him on the spot.
All right, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Here we go. I have had it before. Cheers, Danielle.
Cheers.
Thank you for joining me. Ooh, that is good. It's strong, but it's good. I like it. All right, guys, so let's get right to it. I wanted to have Danielle here because she has a lot of experience in, well, the topic, which is books to invest in. I know that you do a lot of buying, a lot of selling, and obviously, you know, it's a business for you, which means that you're, as nice as you may be, you're looking to make a profit. You know, for sure. It's the way, it's your way of life, how you make a living, how you pay the bills. So having that said, you know, I think there's books out there that, at least myself too, where I'm always like, well, why should I get? Why should I buy? What should I invest in? Because, you know, as much as I love collecting, I also want to get to the point where I can sell some stuff and kind of make a profit out of it, whether it's immediately or it's going to be a couple of years down the road. Yeah. You know, I know you're more into the vintage, more the older stuff, which I think that, in my opinion, definitely is where the money is. If you want to make the big bucks, there's a lot of newer stuff, which I've been collecting, and I'll get into that a little bit later on. But I think if you're going to be investing, there's a reason why it's investing, because you're going to invest in something that's, you know, going to make you the most money, or it's going to be the most profitable for you if your intention is to sell. Right. So having that said, I already know what some of the books you're going to mention, but I want to hear from you. Let's start off with a couple of books. Give me your first book. Tell me what the book is. Tell me why people should invest in it.
I'll go first. Amazing Fantasy 15. I mean, it's kind of what has propelled us into where we are in comic books today. Spider-Man was kind of the leader of the Silver Age up until today, right? They've had numerous people come in and portray Spider-Man in the movies, but he's such an icon for what collecting is today, especially for collectors who come in that grew up in like the 60s, 70s, 80s. They remember Spider-Man. Yeah, they remember Superman and Batman, but they were the ones who were going out to the newsstands and they were reading these books and buying them off the newsstand, right? And then bringing their kids into it. And now they're getting older and to a point where they have money and they're like, oh my gosh, my parents love these books. They talked to me about it, or they told me stories. And it's just such a sought after book that it really is like a holy grail of collections.
Now, as far as, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. And obviously, if you don't know, Amazing Fantasy 15 is the origin of Spider-Man.
If you don't know Amazing Fantasy 15, then you should just stop collecting right now.
Right. Well, unless you're someone coming in as purely an investor, speculator, and you're looking for someplace else to put your money into, then hands down, Amazing Fantasy 15 is definitely in my top 5.
Now, as far as obviously I understand that a lot of people can see why that is definitely a book to invest in. Now, what is I guess right now currently, what is the price points you're looking at as far as if you're looking to sell that book, if you're looking to buy that book, as far as the grades and everything as well?
Entry level is around 9,000 on
Yeah.
a complete pour, like a 0.5 complete is around 9,000. You can find them less expensive sometimes, but it's not likely. It doesn't happen very often. 5.0 is around 45,000.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not getting cheaper, right? They kind of
Right.
dipped a little bit a few months ago. And 3-4 months ago was your prime spot to buy an Amazing Fantasy 15. And even like 3 months ago, but they're starting to pick up again. And that happens as people come back into the hobby or new people enter. So it's a book that will always, in my opinion, have an audience of people in a buyer pool.
Awesome. Now, do you obviously have a copy yourself? And
Yeah,
what
not a personal collection copy, but I always try to keep a couple in inventory. Yeah.
and what grades are you holding those in right now?
I have a 5.0, I have a 6.0, and I just picked up a 1.8 that's on its way to me. Holla.
Now at 6.0, what does a 6.0 go for? If you were to sell it right now, what would you ask for it?
I'd price it at like 65 probably.
65. So pocket change, right?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right. So obviously it's a book that I think a lot of us, if we had an opportunity to own it, we would on the spot. Now, if I had that kind of money laying around, Danielle, that I would be paying you for that book right now.
Word.
But since I can't, as you know, I buy some smaller books, but still good books from you as well.
Yeah, but Hulk 180, he's just picked up a Hulk 181 for me. And if I spoiled it, sorry. But that's another great book from the Bronze Age, like Hulk 181 and Spidey 129 and Giant Size X-Men 1 are all great, iconic books that people will recognize and always look for them and want to add them to a collection.
That's true. So let's say we're going to say Hulk 181 is going to be the second book we're going to talk about just because we started talking about it. No, it's okay. You mentioned it. That's all right, Danielle. So yes, that is a book that I got from you. I'm very excited to get that because it is a book that I've wanted to have for a very long time. There have been rumors, and I don't know if you've heard anything. I don't know if you guys have heard anything. There have been some rumors that there's been talk about a, Wolverine Hulk movie.
Oh, that's badass. Have they talked to actors?
This is a thing. When it comes to those speculations, it's all hearsay right now. So as much as what's the truth behind it, I have no idea. Now, I would hope that there's going to be a movie like that because I think that would be fantastic. And never mind the fact that if that ever comes out, and I say if it does come out, I don't see it coming out in the next year or two. I'd say more in like the next 3 years or so. And I think if that does happen, and if you happen to have multiple 181s, those things are gonna just skyrocket. And I'm sure you have how many 181s do you currently own? 4. So see, I mean, those are books, and would you say that's a book that you're on the lookout always on?
I'll always pick up a Hulk 181, always pick up a Hulk 181. I'll always pick up a Spidey 129. I just picked one up today. Because they're books that everyone looks for, right? It's first Punisher, it's first Wolverine, it's the new X-Men and Giant Size X-Men 1. So there's such important parts of that time period in comics that people will always look to want to add those to their collection. Fantastic Four 5 is another super hot book right now, just in terms of people looking for it. Just first Doom.
Yeah. And, I definitely, the first appearance of Punisher obviously is definitely a sought out after book. It's a book that people like to have. There was a Netflix series that really kind of, in my opinion, kind of blew it out of the water again, as far as a lot of people that.
I didn't watch it. Don't talk about it.
You didn't watch it. It's good. You should definitely check it out.
I'm so behind on TV shows.
Behind? You've been at home.
I know, but I've been watching other shows.
Yeah, that's true. that's and that's another thing is with watching everything on TV right now. There's been so many. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know what you have. I have Fandango, and there's been a lot of which has been weird. A lot of digital or online movie premieres, rather than they can't play them in the theater, so they've been doing the premieres online.
Do you pay a subscription fee for Fandango?
No subscription fee. But so what it is you can rent movies.
Oh, that's cool. No, I just have DirecTV, and then I have Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. What Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Video Prime, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Disney Plus. Obviously, it's you. I think I got that because if you have Verizon, you get
it free for a year.
Free.
Yeah.
So. Obviously, I think everybody knows I'm a big Disney fan. I love Disney. I went for the first time a few years back, and I don't know if I mentioned this last time we spoke. And I thought I was going to go there just to say, you know what, I went, and then I can be over it. And you know what, I went, and I ended up loving it. Beyond belief, to the point where I can't go back. I think I've gone the last 2 times that were 3 months apart. It was just and the last time I went happened right before. Wait, what?
I hate Disney.
How do you hate Disney? Tell me what about it do you hate?
There are too many people screaming, crying, children everywhere.
You're going at the wrong time then.
So I like Epcot because I did food and wine this past year with some girlfriends, and that I really enjoyed because we just kind of got to hang out. But again, it's so crowded. I don't like big crowds. I'm very much an extrovert, but I hate being in close quarters with people, especially when I feel trapped. I'm a little claustrophobic.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm a Universal. Did you do Universal?
I've never gone there.
Okay, so you have to do Universal, and then because I feel like Universal is like a grown-ups Disney, where it's a lot of VR rides. Their downtown area is really cool. They serve alcohol in all the parks. It's not as crowded. More roller coasters.
See, I think for me it was the fact that in my childhood,
Harry Potter world.
That I do want to do. I do want to go check that out, and I've heard a lot of good things about that.
It took my breath away.
Ride. Have you been on the Hulk ride?
Yeah, Hulk ride's badass. So much fun.
It?
Yeah.
See, this is the thing with me. I want to go to Universal because there are I want to go to Harry Potter, that Harry Potter whole thing experience. Yeah, but for me it was the fact that in my childhood, I wouldn't say I didn't do a lot of things, but so the first time I went to Disney, I was like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I do just like yourself. I hate large crowds.
Yeah.
I hate it with a passion. I can't stand it. But the funny thing is that's the only place I don't mind it. Which
really?
Is weird.
Oh, no.
Which is weird. I'm very
I don't like it anywhere.
What's that?
I don't like it anywhere.
You get angry. What about your daughter?
She much prefers Universal also. We did Disney when I took her to Disney for a girls' trip when she was 7 or 8. I think 7. And the thing she remembers most about going to Disney is chasing the little geckos. She doesn't remember the princess dinners. She doesn't remember the castle or going in a mini dress or all the ears we got. She remembers chasing geckos at the hotel.
Well, you can get some of those at home, and it's a cheap.
They're on my lanai regularly now.
Yeah, you're there already. You're already in Florida. You probably have them all the time. That's funny. Well, anyways, back to the comic books. We talked about first appearance of the Punisher. We talked about Hulk 181. Give me another one. Another book that you think
the Holy Grail, which is always going to be sought after, desirable, is Action Comics 1. It's the Holy Grail of comic books. And if you're lucky enough to own one, keep it. Don't sell it and make the mistakes I make all the time.
All the time.
Years to get them back.
Now, how many through the years that you've been doing this, because I know it's been at least 15 years, how many have you owned?
5.
How many do you currently have? Now, is that your personal one, or is that one? It is. So that one's never being sold. You're keeping that one, or you say that now, but you probably will. Yeah.
If I upgrade it, if I upgrade it, or if someone makes me a crazy offer that I can't say no to.
So that would be something you only do through maybe a private sale, or would you ever say, you know what, let me bring that over to Heritage?
No.
And no.
Just
because of that possibility of not getting what it's worth, correct?
And there's no reason to. Yeah, there's not a reason to. So I send books like that to auction if I've had something for a little while and I'm like, I need to turn over my inventory. So I want to just auction this, take whatever I'm going to get. Like an action one is an action one. And they're so hard to find because they're so rare. Like it took, oh my gosh, 3 years, I think, to find a copy. And then I was lucky enough to find one in a collection and sell that one. And then immediately after had the opportunity to buy the copy that I have now. And the only way I would get rid of that one is if I found a nicer copy or if someone made me like an outrageous price.
Now, you don't have to answer this, Danielle, but the copy that you have, was that an outright buy? Was that a, yeah. And I'm guessing that was north of a lot.
North of a lot.
See, but like you said, I mean,
north of a house. North of a house. Yeah.
I know. I get, but it's one of those, I think it's one of those books that if you have the means at that point in time where you can, and obviously it's if this is a passion of yours, of anybody, if you have the opportunity, then why not? You know, I mean, you're going to spend your money somewhere, might as well spend it on something that you want, correct?
For sure.
All right, so we have, obviously that's a book that everybody, I don't think there's a comic book collector out there that wouldn't love to get their hands on that. I feel like there's a lot of keys out there that you talk to different people and they'll say, hey, it's a good book, but if I don't have it, I don't have it. But I feel like that's a book that, you know what, regardless of what you think of that specific series or that specific character, you're going to want it anyways. All right, throw me another book, Danielle.
X-Men 1. I mean, we kind of go hand in hand with Amazing Fantasy 15. I mean, X-Men is still one of the best superhero teams in comics.
Now,
so many movies made. Avengers. I think X-Men 1 trumps Avengers 1.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people agree with you with that one. Now, here's a question for you. Now, I know that you're, you know, you've mentioned in the past, when it comes to reading, you're not necessarily a reader. You like the art, you know, which is fantastic. What's going on, Kay Titus from Japan? What time is it in Japan right now?
Hi from the Sunshine State of Florida.
Yeah, and what is the weather like in Japan right now?
Right. Probably warm.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a few countries that I'm like, yeah, I know, but otherwise, I have no idea. Magic Lasso says, hey.
I love when they say hi. I love when people talk with each other in the comments.
I know. It's very nice. That community is very nice to each other, which is fantastic. I completely forgot what we're
talking about. X-Men 1 and what I thought, but I don't know what I'm supposed to think.
That's right, because I was saying, I know that you mentioned you're not much of a reader per se. You're more of a appreciator of the covers.
Yeah.
You know, would you say that is there any series? And I'm mentioning this to obviously X-Men because you mentioned it, that you've actually maybe read some or been more into the storyline? That's a no.
We know I don't read comic books.
Well, it's not that you do.
I have never read a comic book.
Shut up.
I blow people's minds all the time. I have never read a single comic book.
The first page. No pages.
No, this is what I do.
Open it up. Look through it.
Like, oh, there's way too many word bubbles. This is way too confusing.
Too many word bubbles?
Too many. We're done. I have to follow where they're going. No. Give me a regular book and I'll read it all day.
A what?
a regular book, like with just all words on the
Yes,
same
bubble.
page. You don't have to follow bubble to bubble.
It's the bubble distracting.
Very.
Very distracting. See, I can read both, but I will
You have to, like,
say
picture people's voices in your head. I'm not that imaginative and creative.
okay. So as far as the X-Men, did you watch the movies?
Oh, of course. I watch all the Marvel
okay.
movies.
All right. So in that case, all right. So at least we got something there.
Yeah.
All right. So how many X-Men ones do you have?
I have 2.
2. And I'm sure throughout the years you've owned a lot more. You've sold a lot of them.
Sold a ton of X-Men ones.
What
I had a 9.0 at one point. I wish I would have kept that.
A 9.0? What'd that go for?
Oh, not nearly enough compared to what it sells for today.
Well, that's because I mean, then compared to now, I mean, when did you sell that? Like
4 or 5 years ago.
So what is the price difference, would you say, from that to now?
Oh gosh. A 9.0 was probably 15 or 20,000, and now it's like 60.
Oh wow. So that's a huge jump.
Huge jump. Yeah.
So you're mentioning books that I want to own. I think out of all those, I'm gonna have the opportunity to own one of them, which is fantastic. But all right, give me another book, Danielle.
Let me think. Fantastic 448.
Tell me why that specific book?
It's a great cover. It's the origin of Surfer, who has really kind of taken a pretty big lead in the Marvel universe now, if I remember correctly.
I think there's a lot of it's definitely a cover that a lot of people are looking for.
Cover. It's so iconic. It like starts off that whole little trilogy, 48, 49, 50, and then you go into the Surfer run, and especially in high grade. Now, I'll also add on Marvel Keys, I'm a little pickier than I am on Golden Age.
Okay.
I try to buy really nice looking copies where I'll take like a cream off white book if it looks exceptional for the grade, but I'd rather have like good page quality and no Marvel chipping. We're like, if there's a little Marvel chipping on the book, then I want near perfect page quality, like off white or white pages, so it offsets that side of it. Because with Silver Age books, you have more freedom to be pickier about what ones you're choosing. There's more copies. Like Golden Age books, there's a small pool of books that you can choose from. There are only so many copies available. In many cases, there's less than 100 graded copies of these Golden Age keys. Silver Age, there's thousands in some cases. In Bronze Age, there's even more.
Yeah, it's true. See, I'm like you. I'm a big fan of the older books. I just think that I don't know. There's something about the art. There's something about even the smell, and I'm sure you can relate to it. I mean,
that's my nerdism. I love sniffing old books.
You all sniffing.
Not like books. 60s, but it has to be like 40s and 50s. Yeah, because you can smell their history. It's really cool.
Can. There's that certain. I don't know. There is that specific smell when you first open up that old book that you get that smell and you're like, I don't know. It's. I mean, maybe because I'm getting older. Not that I'm as old as some of these books, but it reminds me of like being younger. If that makes any sense whatsoever. But like.
I like that they all smell different. Like no two books ever smell the same. Like if you take 2 Action 52s from 2 different collections, they're not going to smell the same.
That's true.
They were stored differently. They were read differently. They were in different areas. And I don't know. You can smell the history, and I love the smell of old paper.
I agree with you. Now, let me mention a book that's maybe not in your wheelhouse. It might be. And if it is, fantastic. You can tell me about it. And that's going to be The Ultimate Fallout 4. There's been a lot of talk about this book. Are you familiar with this book, Danielle? Do you own any copies? I'm going to take that
Did it just come out?
Did it just come out? No. It's I believe it's the first Miles Morales
Is that
And
from the 2000s?
no, this is the thing. You posted a post maybe yesterday on, and this is going to lead back to the comic, I promise.
Okay.
On the Xbox, the new Xbox,
Well, in my story, I did PlayStation versus X-Men.
PlayStation 5. Now, apparently, I picked wrong because I picked PlayStation 5.
I picked PlayStation 5 too. I don't know why. I think it's just because I had two choices and it was my poll was jacked.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, all right, I was wrong. Apparently Danielle hates PlayStation 5.
Now we're
I'm
on
curious.
PlayStation 5 house.
I don't own I own a PS2, which isn't, well, no, but don't get me, hold on. That's just to play certain games. So I
Wait,
want,
you have a PS4?
no, but I have an
PS3?
Xbox One.
Oh,
Well, let me go through my thing, okay? I
That's
have a
the
Nintendo
one.
Switch, okay?
okay.
I have the PS2 because I wanted to
I don't
play.
have a Nintendo Switch. I want one. They're sold out because of COVID.
I didn't know. Are they really?
I think so. Yeah, they've all been back ordered. Yeah.
Oh, when you get a chance, you gotta get it. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. I love mine. But the reason why I bought I didn't buy the PS2, but the reason why I got the PS2 was because I wanted to play 2 games, only 2 games, and that was Simpsons Road Rage.
Yeah, it's so good.
And Simpsons Hit and Run. That's the only reason why I have that. Now, I also have the, when they did that, they came out with that Nintendo, like the new Nintendo with like the 30 games.
The classic.
Yeah, Nintendo Classic, and I have the Super Nintendo Classic too, if that's what it's called. I have the Xbox One, and then I have Raspberry Pi with like 500
What's
games.
that?
It's when somebody takes the software, I'm not very good with this, and does something so that they get like 500 games into that little piece.
They jailbreak it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's necessarily a legal thing, but I don't know how that works.
No,
but
if you do on a cell phone though, you jailbreak it. You can add extra stuff.
Yeah, I remember like that back in high school. Like, oh, you want to jailbreak your iPhone?
Like modify it, right?
Yeah. So I have the Raspberry Pi, and I have my arcades, and that's about it. Now, I've been thinking about the PS5 just because, I don't know, it looks good. What is your reasoning behind the PS5 rather than the Xbox? Are you just a PlayStation?
I'm just a PlayStation fan, yeah. I went out to California for a couple of shows last year, and I have a friend who works for Naughty Dog, which is a subsidiary of PlayStation. And we got to see them developing, since it's officially out. I think it's out now. I had to sign an NDA. I couldn't talk about anything. Yeah, because I took my daughter and my niece, and we got to see all of like the behind the scenes stuff. We got to do a tour of their offices and see them actually building and doing all the coding for all of the different pieces. I had no idea, first of all, how much goes into making a video game. It takes them over 2 years to bring a video game to fruition. And it was pretty incredible to see. But at that facility, they were building the PS5, and even employees that worked in the building, unless you were on that team, you could not step past that line to get into it. It was blacked out. You couldn't see anything.
So do you have the connection to get it when it comes out?
I mean, I'll just wait like everyone else. I try not to use my clout. But I did hear, when I bought, but I will have one. When I bought a video game collection last year, the guy who I was buying them from had a VR for the PS4, and I tried it, and I was like, holy shit, this is so much fun. Like, this is really cool. It really feels like you're in the game. And
is it actually good?
Yeah, it's so good. Like, for real, it's so crazy. Like, there's like wind that blows at you. Like, you feel like the one I did, like I was sitting in a car and I had to like kill clowns or something.
Yeah.
And it felt like I was moving on the roller coaster.
Really?
Yeah, it was really cool. But I didn't buy one because I heard the VR for PS5 is going to be out of this world.
You sold me. I wonder what the price point for that's going to be. If I had to get, that's got to be in
for the
north,
VR plus
north of 500.
I was gonna say like 600.
With just a system or no? With the VR, it's
With
going to
the
be
VR.
1,000.
Like 650. I don't think they'll price it at 500. I think that's too high. I think 400.
No,
Maybe
really?
450. Probably 450
Just for the system.
for the system, and maybe like 600 or 650 for the system plus the VR.
Hey, listen, Danielle. If that's the actual price they put out, I'll be shocked. I'd be awesome because I think that would be a great price.
I'll buy it.
What's that?
Even at 700, I'll buy both.
No, I think that honestly, I think even if it was at 1,000, I think it'd still be a good buy. I mean, look at.
Oh, that's too much.
And you would still buy it.
No, I'll wait.
I mean, you wouldn't. Yeah,
I'll
you
wait.
would. You wouldn't wait. What are you gonna wait for Christmas?
It's gonna come out at Christmas.
That's gonna come out at Christmas. You're gonna stand in line doing COVID, doing still
I don't
COVID.
go to stores. No.
How you gonna?
I'm gonna pre-order it online.
Yes, yeah.
I'll set my alarm so I'm the first person to order.
That's true. All right, so this is the reason why I mentioned that, Danielle, is because there is talk about I guess
Miles Morales Spider-Man game.
What's that?
A Miles Morales Spider-Man game.
Exactly, which is going to be exclusive to the to PlayStation.
Oh, that's dope.
So,
well, PlayStation's a better system anyway.
See, I don't mind the Xbox. I think they're fine. I've owned Xboxes, but
it's like comparing generic to brand name.
Well, listen, this is the way I look at it. Also, it's I told that this phone is an iPhone. This is my first iPhone. Okay. And after I bought, so I got the iPhone, then I ended up getting the MacBook Pro, then I ended up getting the earbuds or whatever you call them, and then I got the
Apple Watch. Welcome to the cult.
I love it. Now the thing is, everything's so expensive though because that's what they do. They make things so that you have to buy the other thing.
Right.
And after you buy the other thing, you have to buy the other thing, which is smart, but it's just so damn expensive.
Well, I'm waiting for the new iPhone like you wouldn't believe.
What's that?
I'm impatiently waiting for the new iPhone.
September?
Yeah, September.
I'm waiting for that one too because I'm due for an upgrade.
What do you have right now? But I want the new one. XS.
What's that one?
XS.
Oh, this is the X. So I'm right below you. So when September comes, I think I read about it. I specifically waited. I'm waiting on purpose to get that one. But anyways, so yeah, so the game is going to be exclusive, and there's been a lot of talk about just the price. Just the book is hot right now. The book is just extremely hot. I can tell you right now. I'll give you some info because if I'd be lying if I told you I know much about it. I can tell you that when Elite Comics had their con last time, I ended up winning it through one of their giveaways. And I didn't know much about it at the time. And all of a sudden, right now, it's just blowing up. Posting about it.
Was already graded? Did you grade it?
It's a high grade. Honestly, me looking at it, I mean, not that I'm an expert, but it's got to be between a 9.6 and a 9.8. I mean, it's in phenomenal shape. And I can tell you right now, I'm going to look it up. And everybody bear with me because see, I'm not very familiar with it. So let me see here. It came out, and if anybody on the chat knows, let me know. So the book, October 2011. Okay, so October 2011. Right now, I think one of them sold for like 9 something or 8 something recently, and it's just continuing to go up. So I mean, everybody's been posting it. I posted it the other day because I was like, all right, everybody's posting, so I guess I'll post it too. You know, but I mean, I do believe from what I've seen, it's going to be a book that's just going to continue to rise. So
Well, especially if the game
Daniel,
and he's the new. Well, especially the game's coming out. He's the new Spider-Man in the movies. They had the Web of Spider-Man cartoon. I did watch that. Is that what it was called? Web of the cartoon Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Movie?
Did
Web
you watch
Spider-Man? Yeah.
That was the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
I liked
Your
it.
honest opinion.
I liked it. I watched it.
I liked it too. Now,
see, it was fun. It wasn't a serious movie.
But with stories like that, how do you feel about when they, I don't want to say kill off, but when they get rid of like something that you've known for so long and change it up?
Well, look what they did in Endgame.
Yeah.
I would still cry if I watched that.
What's that?
I would still cry if I watched that. I cried like a baby watching that movie.
See,
I don't like when things get changed, but I understand that it's progressive and it happens.
Yeah. See, for me, it's one of those things where I'm the type of guy that when I'm watching the show, you're on season 2, they change one of the characters to a different actor. It doesn't go well with me because
I know.
Because I'm like,
what they do with characters? Look how many Batmans there have been.
That's true. Now,
but I will say they get better each time. I'm not gonna lie.
You can't beat the first one.
Of course.
Are you serious? No, the original. Who do you think?
I'm not a super old movie fan, so I don't know. I'm pretty excited to see how. I thought Ben Affleck kicked ass as Batman.
How do you feel about the new kid?
Edward Pattinson.
Is that his name?
Yeah, because he's from Twilight. I'm a fan of him as an actor. I'm curious to see how he'll be as Batman because he must have had to bulk up for that because he had a very small frame.
I thought that I've been looking at pictures. I've been trying to find pictures of him. If maybe there's been any leakage of what he looks like right now, but I'm not seeing anything where he's like bulked up. I've seen him post things on Instagram and talking about how the movie and this and that, but he still looks skinny to me. So that's the thing. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna be that character, I don't know, you have to have a specific.
You have to be built. You have to be, honestly, you have to be jacked.
You do. This is the thing, though. And I'm not saying that the first Batmans were.
Michael Keaton Batman?
They
is that what you're referring to?
I'm not saying that he was. I'm just saying.
Are you referring to Michael Keaton Batman as the best Batman?
I'm saying he was a good Batman.
Okay, he's the best.
I asked you that first. You tell me. I asked you first.
I liked Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, he was good. I think he fit that role well. You know,
just like I think Heath Ledger is hands down
the
best Joker of all time. And I was very nervous to see Joaquin Phoenix do the Joker that they just did. Oh, I never saw that one in 1943.
Lewis Wilson. See,
well, he's probably not as good at it.
I will say Magic Lasso is very good at knowing information that I will never know. He has filled me in a bunch of stuff in the past. See, okay, how do you feel about Val?
Val Kilmer is.
I'm just saying.
I'm not a huge fan of him as an actor.
You're not? Come on, Top Gun. Really? All right.
I'm also not a Star Wars or Star Trek fan. I'm crushing nerds' hearts all over the world right now. I know.
See, you just pissed off a lot of people just now.
Like, they don't still like me. It's part of my charm. Yeah. My honesty is part of my charm.
All right. You know, I can see we're not gonna agree with the.
Okay, who do you think? So are you saying you think Val Kilmer is the best Batman?
No.
Who do you think is?
I'm saying that I think Christian did a very good job. I think he He played that role quite well. You know what it is? Okay, this is what it is. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Thank you.
I feel that when and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when Christian was doing that role and he played the part well, but I felt like when he would make his voice deeper,
he was trying too hard.
Was kind of like a little too much, buddy. You know, I feel like it was just kind of strained. But
that's like scripting. That's not his fault. That's more scripting.
It is, but I mean, there wasn't a need for that extra exaggerated deepness.
I understand
that. That's the only reason why I'm like, he was really good in the role. I think he played it well. I think the whole voice thing, every time I heard, I'm like, come on. But I thought that the movies were good. I thought that the roles were good. You know, like you mentioned, Heath as a Joker is just,
no one will ever compete with that.
Hands down. Did you see the new Joker?
Yeah, and I know that it's had mixed reviews. I personally really liked it.
I haven't seen it.
Wasn't okay, so it's not a superhero movie. Like at all.
What?
It's not a superhero movie.
Okay.
It's very much,
Is it more like on the
It's
mild?
A drama.
Is it mild?
No, it's deep. It's super deep. It's very much like a mental health thing, and I really enjoyed it. You don't get honestly, it's really fucked up.
I'm gonna check it out because I think
that's
it's
the
on
best way to say it. Yeah, I think it is too, actually.
I'm gonna check it out. Interesting enough, Lewis Wilson was also the youngest actor to tackle the role at 23. His performance faced criticism for his voice as Batman and his.
Oh, so funny. See, it matters.
It does. I'm not familiar with Lewis Wilson, so I don't know what his voice or what his physique was like. But I'd be interested to look him up and find out what he looked like and what, just to find out about him a little bit more. Because like I said, for me, that's what kind of threw me off a little bit from Christian. It wasn't his acting. It wasn't the movies. I really like the movies. I actually own all of them. But it was just, like I said, it was just every time I heard him like deepen his voice.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Can't take him seriously.
It was that?
You can't take him serious.
It sounded strained. I don't know if that I don't know how to explain it. It was
forced.
Was that?
I think it was forced.
It was forced. It was.
Yeah.
I think if he.
I feel you.
Yeah, he could have changed. Maybe he could have changed his voice a little bit, but I don't think to that extent. I felt like every time he was like really like, I don't know, like
I am bad.
Yeah. Now every time I'm like, that's gotta hurt your throat, buddy. I mean, I couldn't do that for an extended period of time without being like, my throat hurts.
All right, we're good here. Bring me the honey.
Exactly. Now going back to that other kid who's gonna be the new Batman, which is what's his name again?
Miles Morales.
No, the new
Tom.
Batman.
Tom something, right?
What is his name?
Isn't it Tom something? The one who was in Avengers?
No.
There's a new Spider-Man?
No Batman.
Oh, Batman. Oh, Edward Pattinson.
Edward Pattinson. Magic
Batman for us.
I wish I could.
Do it.
I wish I could, but I gotta keep my reputation. I gotta keep my reputation on YouTube.
No, that's Spider-Man. Thank you, Matt Lasso. Say I am Batman in your best Batman voice.
Me?
Yeah.
I am Batman. See, I feel like it's just I can't do it without like laughing because it's like I don't know
because it's so cheesy.
But the other guy, what's his name again? I can't
remember.
Edward
Pattinson.
Edward. I always forget it. What else has he been in?
Twilight.
Give me something good. I'm sorry. I don't.
Gotta go.
I can't watch those ones.
Sorry, gotta go.
Yeah. I can't take him seriously in that one.
Well, he's known, or Robert Pattinson. He's Edward Cullen. He's Robert Pattinson. His name.
Okay, Robert
Pattinson. He's Edward Cullen in Twilight.
What was he?
He's been in a movie.
Was in Harry Potter.
No.
Okay. Anyways, I don't know how I feel about him. I think it's gonna be one of those things where
He definitely has the dark look.
What's that?
He has like that dark look.
He does, but he's skinny.
But they'll probably just put a suit on him where he looks like those Halloween costumes where he looks jacked.
Yeah, but what about those? I feel like in all Batman movies, there's a scene where there's like.
Oh, it looks like he's getting some shoulders. I like.
Those are shoulder pads.
No. Well, he's still very thin though.
He's still thin. Look at those arms.
Yeah.
I don't know how I don't know.
You've been drinking.
Well, it's a. I don't know if you know this.
When you were drinking.
This is a comedy show. No, I will say we have kind of sidetracked from our original thing. But
I'm like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
That's true. That's true. I don't know how I feel about him, Danielle. I'll be honest. I think that once the movie comes out, I'll watch it and I'll say either, all right, that was good. Because who they're saying that, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you heard anything. What is the rumor as far as the villains in the new one? Is it the Penguin or the Riddler?
Oh, I don't know. I hope they go Penguin though.
That's what I heard, and that's why I ended up getting a while ago, I think like months ago before they even mentioned it, I got what was the appearance of the Penguin, and I own the damn book, and I can't remember what it is now.
Is it Detective 58? Is that first Penguin?
I don't think it was the first Penguin. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Good thing I'm really here we go. So it's Batman 155. So it's the first Silver Age appearance of the Penguin.
Oh, look at that. Sometimes her knowledge knoweth. Do you see what that says?
No, I can't see it.
It says first appearance of the Penguin.
Is that 155?
No, this is Detective Comics 58.
Well, I don't own that one, Danielle.
Well, I said
that's above my pay grade.
Testing my own knowledge also.
Do you own that one?
I did before. I don't anymore.
Oh, well, you should have kept it because
if the
Penguin comes out.
A lot of stuff.
What's that?
Should have kept a lot of stuff.
You can always buy it. I'm sure you have the connections to get it if you want to get it.
Only at a fair price.
That's true. Is there such thing as a fair price nowadays? Let's be honest. Is there such thing as buying something from someone at a fair price? At market value.
Yes. Yeah.
Everybody's making a profit.
Especially when you buy
market value cost.
Especially when you buy from me. Because I tend to buy stuff.
Of course, especially when you buy from anyone else. I'm saying.
Right. I don't know about other people.
The
best bet is to just deal with me, guys.
I'll be honest. I've seen some other people on Instagram post some books, and I'm sitting there thinking, how do you come up with this number? There's some people that come up with these numbers where I'm like, where are you getting this number from?
Right.
Because it just doesn't make any sense. It's the what you're asking, not you, but what that individual is asking for that book. It's like, okay, I can see that it's a good book to have, but where are you getting this price up when, especially, you know what makes me laugh, especially when books just come out.
Oh, okay. I don't follow that market, but I've already talked about this and been very vocal.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Like, for example, what was that book that I just got? Magic Lasso. I just got it. I got 2 copies of it because the price was, I don't remember. But anyways, the price that I think like the day before it came out, it was already like from like the regular price of like $3.99 to like $50 before it came out. Now, I bought 2. Why?
$50 a piece?
$50 a piece. Now, I bought 2 at $3.99 because you know what? All right. If for some reason it is going to start, and that's the first, okay, so it's the first appearance of the Yellow Hulk. All right. So I got 2 copies because if it's gonna end up going up in price, hell, I'll hold on to it for the next couple of years, and then sell one of them. You know.
Yeah. But you only paid $3.99 for it, right?
Yep. But there's other people paying. That's the thing. This is the other thing. There's shops out there. There's comic book shops that they get these books. They're $3.99 from they get it from Diamond
Distributor, right?
Yeah. And once they get them, they hear that they're gonna go up in price. So what they do, they sell them at a marked up price. Now, I don't think that's fair. I think that
it's shitty.
I think it's very shitty. I think that. Oh yeah. Well, Hell Arisen 3 also was another one that was just ridiculous. But that's the thing. Shops were getting these books and they weren't selling them at $3.99, $4.99, whatever the price was, even $10. They were selling them already at 30, 40, 50 bucks. And as a store, as a shop, I don't think they should ever do that, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's bad business. And I know that they're probably hurting right now because they've been closed for 2-3 months, but they're paying 40% of cover price. So if you they want to hold back 1 or 2 to speculate on, fine. But
exactly.
It's crappy to sell all the copies of a book that just came out for that kind of markup. I don't agree with stores that do that. I think it's wrong.
Except as a store, like you said, hold on to them, and if they do, something does happen, then sell them.
Or you know what? Go through and pick your best 2 copies and send them to CGC and get your 9.8s or your 9.9s.
Yeah.
But to sell all of them at crazy markups like that, I don't agree with that. Like if it weren't for customers supporting your store, you wouldn't have one in the first place.
I agree.
I'm so thankful for the people who support my business, because if people don't choose me, then I don't have anything, right?
Yeah.
So I try to be fair. It's the same thing with stores. Like that kind of markup is irresponsible.
I agree. You know, I mean, I know Magic Lasso said your shop didn't do it, which is fantastic. I will say my shop didn't do it either, because like I said, even with the first appearance of Yellow Hulk, they had 2 copies. They only ordered 2 copies for the shop. I got both copies, and they were both $3.99, not marked up. Same thing with Hell Arisen 3, which was ridiculous when it first came out. I know, Danielle, you're not very familiar with the new books, but it was a book that was just going off the roof.
How come?
And I was able to get that also at $3.99, or I think $3.99, which is what with the price that was marked in the book,
right?
Which is what the way it should be. And it wasn't like my shop was like trying to hold on to it, because they even said, "Oh yeah, we held one for you." They weren't trying to upsell me, which is what I like about my shop, is the fact that I can go in there.
Well, what's your local store you shop with?
It's called Comically Speaking, in Reading, Mass, or on Instagram is Speaking Comics. And they're fantastic. You know, especially during this whole COVID, what I ended up doing is obviously out of work, I'm not spending a lot of money and this and that. So what I did is I actually took books that I already owned, I brought them to my shop, and I sold it to the shop for store credit. That way I was able to buy different books.
You wanted, right? You traded.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think I brought in there, I think the last time I went in there, I brought in like 7 books. I got like $400 worth of credit, which lets me get books for new comic book days for a while. You know, let's see, Nordagura, what do you think? It's acceptable time frame in paying off a book?
I have ice in my mouth.
Sorry, Magic Lasso. It's got to go down.
3 to 6 months. I will give time payment up
Don't
to
spit it out.
Right. Like on a bigger purchase, like I've gone up to a year on time payments before. I personally try to be flexible, because if people don't have the ability to buy these books then the market doesn't keep moving, right?
True. Yeah.
And especially now, we're in a very weird economy right now, especially with collectibles. So I'm offering time payments on stuff more than ever. One, for me, it's nice because I know I have these payments coming in, and it lets other people add books to their collection. They're usually selling something else to fund it. So it like keeps the whole cycle going. So normally I give like 3 to 6 months, but I make exceptions.
Now let me ask you this, Danielle, because I obviously experienced from me myself with yourself as well, is how do you determine as far as what are you going to do for how are you going to trust someone? Is there, you obviously have to trust that they're gonna make the payments.
Well, I get a non-refundable deposit, and like if anyone else is looking to do this, I get a 20% non-refundable deposit, and I hold the book until it's paid off. So if they decide not to buy it, I've had people during COVID, I've had people disappear for a couple months on me where there's no communication, and I'm not hunting you down. Like that's not my job. And especially now, people are already stressed out. I think the last thing they need is me coming to them saying, when are you paying off this comic book? When maybe they don't know how they're buying groceries right now. So I have not put a lot of pressure on people. And I've had people come back to me now saying, hey, can I resume payments? Of course you can. I have the book for you.
I mean, honestly, I guess there's not a lose. You can't lose in this situation if you're in your instance, because let's say that the buyer doesn't pay you after making 4 payments and they disappear, you still got paid. So you still got money and you didn't have to ship out the book.
And I never ship until paid in full. So if you're looking to do time payment, don't ever ship before you get paid.
True. Here, this is what I always thought about. So let me ask you this, because I actually thought about this the other day. I don't know why I was thinking about it, but let's say somebody has a book and they say to you, I'm just saying you as an example. Sure. They say to you, hey, Danielle, I have this book. You have that book. Do you like this book? Let's trade. And you're like, yeah, let's trade. What do you do to make sure that you're not getting screwed? Because for all you know, you can ship out your book and they're not shipping out theirs.
I'm more reputable than most people in this hobby. I have a 15-year reputation, and I have references from all of the major dealers. So I wait until I receive it. The average person who maybe doesn't have all these references, it's very much a trust issue.
Yeah. So you'll wait till you get their book first.
Yeah, right? Absolutely.
I was thinking about that. I was like, you know what? If somebody tells me, hey, Sal, I got this book. Do you want to trade? I'm like, well, yeah, I want to trade, but
send me the book. Once I get it, I'll send you yours. Or if people aren't comfortable doing that, I know people use like a known middle ground. Like maybe 2 people know who I am, or 2 people know who another dealer is, and they'll reach out and say, hey, can you be our middleman? Can we both ship you our stuff? And you confirm that it's legit. And you pay like a fee, give them a couple $100 for going out of their way to do this. And you send both things on their way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know what I was thinking about the other day. I was just like, all of a sudden I was like, you know what is the safest way to do it? The way to make sure that you don't ship out your book. And all of a sudden,
I get everything first. And then once I'm paid in full, I send theirs on their way.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's the best way to do it. All right. So do you have to go, Danielle? I don't want to keep you. I know you're a busy individual.
Okay.
So we talked about a few books. One that we didn't mention was FF1.
Yeah. We got
your thoughts. Is that a book that you think if you can buy, get it? If you can get, if you can get multiples, get it?
Yes, buy all the FF1s you can, because eventually Marvel will do a badass Fantastic Four movie. I mean, Fantastic Four is Fantastic Four to begin with, but it's never been done justice, right? Like, there's been a crazy Spider-Man movie. There's been several. There have been good X-Men movies. Yeah. There's been good Iron Man movies. There's never been, and even Ant-Man was entertainable.
Yeah, I agree.
There's never been a good Fantastic Four. They've flopped every single time. So I think that now that Marvel has Magic Lasso said your drink is empty, pour a new one.
You got to remember, Magic Lasso, that was a double. That was a double.
Just
I didn't see
pouring.
anything left.
Eventually Marvel is going to hit a home run on Fantastic Four, and it's going to drive that interest back up again. And, I think right now, for the first time in probably a decade, the comic book market is finding its footing on its own without movie hype right now, because we can't have production. Kind of these franchises have come to an end. Avengers is kind of done with that series of it. Wolverine is done with that chapter.
Maybe.
X-Men is done. Well, but if they do a new Wolverine, it's not going to be a Hugh Jackman Wolverine. It's going to be...
I think it is.
No way. I can't see him coming back.
That's what they were discussing, is having him come back.
I don't know if he'll come back.
You wouldn't want to see him back?
I would love to see him back. I think that Wolverine was born for Hugh Jackman.
I agree.
No one can touch that role. And if to do it and with another actor, I think will be it's like finding someone to fill Heath Ledger's shoes, right? Like there are certain roles that these actors play that are so scripted for them that it's hard to come back from that.
I agree.
So I think that if they can get Hugh Jackman back into a Wolverine role, crazy. With what's his face as Hulk? What's his name?
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, and it would be a Mark Ruffalo Hugh Jackman mashup. That would be great.
See, I think Mark Ruffalo is perfect for the Hulk role. I really think he did a really good job. Hugh Jackman, you just can't beat him. You can't beat Hugh Jackman, hands down.
Can you let Toby? Oh, can you let Toby? I have like 10 minutes. It's my 10-minute warning from my daughter.
Perfect. No worries. I know. I think my dog's gotta go out too, to be honest with you. I think I was gonna say I think Toby, but that's not Hugh Jackman. I heard you say Toby. I was like, I think Toby. I think that if you get those two, I don't even know what would the premises be of why. What would be the premises of why they're of the movie? Is that
my daughter racing?
There's the unicorn.
We can see, huh? What sign? Oh, she's trying to show me the sunset behind us.
It is about that time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do. That's your pool, right?
My pool, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what would the premises be if you get them together?
The origin of the movie, it would go back to being an origin story.
I suppose, yeah.
Like it would have to be an origins version, right? What else could they do with it? That's
true. But it's Hollywood.
If they wanted to take it back to like that battle issue, like that is Hulk's origin. Or not Wolverine's origin, rather.
Who would play Wendigo? Are we thinking younger? Well, in the book, and I think
it would be someone in their late 30s, early 40s.
Because I'll be honest, I like the cover. I've never read the book.
Of Hulk 181?
Hulk 181. So I'm not familiar with the story. I know that in Hulk 180, I know that in the cover, Wendigo is fighting the Hulk, and there's a woman in the bottom that says, like, I think Hulk says, and I can tell you right now, I think the Hulk says he attacks again, but this time monster will die. And then there's a woman that says, no, he's my brother. So I'm not familiar with the storyline. So I'm curious. I know you don't read. So I'm curious I guess I'm gonna have to look it up digitally to find out. So
Oh yes, please. He'll come back and share his answer next week.
I will. Now here, Danielle, I know that you do have to go. I know that you've I know that you posted a post on Instagram this week about your big mystery boxes. Are there any left
For you?
for anyone? Are they all sold out?
I did a limited edition to 10 and I sold them out in 2 hours. I ended up filling 5 more. I want to put a disclaimer if anyone sees this video, because I just had someone reach out to me for the first time that said that they were unhappy with their box. And I try really hard to make sure all of the value is there. It had like a First Kitty Pride in it. I was reading the message when I was on live. And he wants to return it. And I'm going to let him. But the point of a mystery box is that it's a mystery box. And I work really hard. I like no 2 boxes from me are ever the same. It's not a bunch of variants. It's all books that are handpicked. So I work, and he wanted to return them because they were low grade issues and he wants high grade ones. So, but if they were high grade,
why would you give them out?
Well, if they were high grade copies of like X-Men 139, it wouldn't be in a $50 mystery box. It'd be in a $1,000 mystery box.
Exactly.
So
this is the thing.
I normally don't accept returns on mystery boxes.
This is what I say about mystery boxes. And I've said this in the past. I've gotten them from you. I've been very happy with them. But my thing about mystery boxes is if you decide to get a mystery box, it is what you get. And that's it. You take a risk, and if it's good, it's good. If it isn't, you don't like it for whatever the reason. Guess what? It's a mystery box.
Well, and I make sure I give the value. There's at least what you paid in that box every time.
I was happy with what I got from you. So
I'll have a new round of 50 and 100 boxes next week. I've started.
I was trying to help you out. I was gonna put a link in the, but I didn't know it sold already. So.
My 500 ones, 2 hours. I couldn't believe how quickly they sold out. It makes my heart full.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I wish I could sell 10 mystery boxes at 500 right now, but since my collection is very limited, and like I said, nobody realizes that my whole comic book collection
is on your wall.
It's only pretty much no. I think I can tell you how many books I have right now. I'm not even kidding. I have a total. I should save this as like a giveaway question. Honestly.
Yeah. Oh, you should. Yes.
You know what? I'm going to, because nobody's gonna guess it. But it's a good question, and I am going to be doing another giveaway very soon, guys. You know, I kept Danielle here long enough. I do want to thank you very much for tuning in and being a part of the show, and just coming here and just chatting with us. And having a couple of drinks, and I know Magic Lasso definitely enjoyed the whole show. He's a trooper. Oh, he's fantastic. He watches all my videos. He's a great guy. Whenever I need a book that I can't find in my shop, he's always there to go to his shop and get it for me. So it's fantastic. Very, very, very awesome guy. Having that said, Danielle, thank you very much. Hey, guys, thank you for tuning in. I will be on the description. I will post the link to Danielle's eBay page. She's always got stuff on there to sell. There's just some awesome stuff. Don't miss out. Go check it out. And once again, thank you so much, guys. And we will see you next time. Take care. Don't go anywhere.